at the half. And how about the Warriors going for the NBA record? 73 wins, looking to go 73-9. And tomorrow night on ESPN2, Jazz and the Lakers, Kobe Bryant's finale. Saturday, April 16th, playoffs begin on ABC, and then next week on NBA TV, playoff coverage also begins. Sunday, playoffs coverage will get underway on TNT. Tony Parker able to hit his second field goal, so it's a 16-point lead for Oklahoma City.
And what game are you going to watch, that late game? You're going to watch Kobe's last game or Golden State going for 73 wins?
He'll have two televisions going at the same time.
That's the mambo.
Come on.
Back and forth. I have to see Kobe's last game. Love competing against him. But I got to watch history, too. Those 73 wins, but we're used to seeing Tony Parker knock down that layup as he penetrates.
The Spurs, coming into tonight, have lost 3 in a row. And, guys, this is a team that had not lost consecutive games all season long. And the Spurs will become the first team in the history of the NBA to never lose consecutive games. And the Spurs were right on that path. A year ago, San Antonio finished the regular season winning 21 of their last 25 games and lost in the first round in 7 to the Clippers. So, I mean, you never know. I mean, there have been teams that did not finish strong and do well in the playoffs, and you see the opposite.
Yeah, but I'm glad we fixed that rule about division winners and champs, because if you ask San Antonio last year, that was really unfair for them to have to play in the first round, moving down 5 spots in that last day, Grant.
No, I agree. And they matched up with the Clippers, who were playing great basketball. Yes. Blake Griffin was out of this
Magic
world.
Griffin.
And the Clippers, the San Antonio Spurs now have certainly positioned themselves nicely, kind of flying under the radar this season with the historic season they've had, just surpassed by those Warriors.
Trying to equal the Boston Celtic all-time NBA home record. They went 40-1 back in 85-86. So Anderson will go to the line. Foul on Singler. The NBA on TNT is being brought to you by the Ford Transit, built for tough. By Burger King. Now you can get 5 delicious items for only $4. It's a bigger meal for a better deal, only at Burger King. By Hotels.com. So simple, it is the obvious choice. And watch enhanced coverage of tonight's game only on TNT Overtime, fueled by Gatorade.
And Chris, you talked before that last timeout about maybe the residue for San Antonio of losing to Golden State in those 2 games in recent days, and just disheartening knowing that you've given your all, you've tried different matchups, and you just can't figure out this team as Cameron Payne knocks down a top of the key jump shot. And so maybe still a little bit stunned, but they have to wake up here to try to get this win against the Thunder.
Cameron Payne, who averaged about 11-12 minutes a game, been impressive in this first half. Rookie from Murray State. This is Jonathan Simmons, who's had some strong moments this season for the Spurs. Rookie from the University of Houston, spent the last 2 years in the D-League. Just under 6 to go in the first half. Foy came up short, rebounded by Aldridge. Parker trying to accelerate. They swing it. Simmons for 3. Stay right here on the loose ball foul. Stephen Adams.
Goodness.
Westbrook also has the most triple-doubles in a single season in the last 25 years. Magic with 17 back in 88, 89.
That was going to be number 3, Dion Waiters. First personal
foul is on Waiters.
And Marv, I just love how hard Westbrook plays. Man, he just, every possession, both ends of the floor, he gives it his all. And as you said, Chris, the narrative has changed about Westbrook. Yes. Now we are appreciating what he brings to the table. Very happy for that young man.
And Kevin Durant, as Aldridge is fouled, he had himself a pretty good night. 27 minutes last night, 11 of 18, 6 of 11 from 3, 34 points in 27 minutes.
And isn't that part of a record, Marv? Every time he gets 20, I think he adds on to, to his consecutive games. I mean, just what a fantastic dynamic duo. And being able to watch them grow from two young kids who could really play to two more mature guys that could really play.
Yes, indeed.
Nick Collison checks back in. A foul on Steven Adams, his third.
And what's funny about Kevin Durant, he, like you said, is having a magical season himself and is overshadowed somewhat by Westbrook and what he's done. I mean, Kevin Durant, if you don't have Westbrook and you don't have Curry, he could be in the conversation for MVP.
I was going to say, Curry really messed it up for everybody. He's going to hit 400 threes, his team 73. If he wasn't around, this league, we'd be talking about a lot of different historic events this year.
That's true.
And then there's Serge Ibaka, 12 points a game, 7 rebounds. A valuable guy. Did not shoot the ball particularly well last night. One of those nights. Down to 1 on the shot clock. And it's would have been a 24-second violation, but Parker took possession. Just under 5 remaining first half. Marv Albert, Chris Webber, Grant Hill, Lewis Johnson from San Antonio. First of a doubleheader on TNT. Aldridge went to the left hand.
He's really working on that left. Obviously, that finger is still bothering him. Not totally comfortable, Aldridge.
Waiters with a rainbow. Anderson handles the rebound.
I remember, Chris, my rookie year, Rick Mahorn saw that I had my fingers taped up. Every time he ran by me, karate chop, squeezed my fingers. I learned to never tape them ever again.
Did he ask, are you okay?
No, not at all. On this last play, you see the rookie Payne picking up his dribble. Of course, the veteran Tony Parker not fouling, forcing the turnover. Tony Parker, it's hard to believe that he has been in the league now. This is his 15th year, but still being effective, Mr. Parker.
Aldridge played by Cantor. Goes right at him and scores.
Well, Mark, we're seeing something different. The other night, we saw Curry make sure that he went to the hole, saying, if this is what you want to force me to do, I'm going to make you regret your decision as we see this timeout. The last
Your teams, your highlights, your scores, all in one place. Download Team Stream, the free app from Bleacher Report. And you can do it now. Josh Hustis, rookie from Stanford, has come on for the first time. And this is Hustis on the fadeaway. Rebounded by Aldridge. So the Spurs showing some signs, 6 consecutive points. And they're now down by 10. Coming up on 3 to play, first half. Leonard comes up short. Thunder have led by as many as 18.
And if you're OKC, you know that you're almost playing with house money. You didn't expect maybe to be in this position. You want to make sure that you execute down the stretch. They're running some pick and roll plays, but they may want to look inside the Enes Kanter. That is their best offensive player in that paint area.
Deflected out by Hustis. Parker and Green in the backcourt. Aldridge, West, Leonard up front. So Greg Popovich going with his regulars. Boris Diaw sitting out once again with a chronic groin injury. And Manu Ginobili getting a rest. Spurs do have one more game. They play their regular season finale at Dallas tomorrow night. Here is Leonard. Yes. Kawhi Leonard among the leaders in three-point shooting. He's right behind J.J. Redick of the Clippers and Steph Curry of the Warriors.
And you really got to admire how he has worked and dedicated himself to get better. Doesn't act or pretend to be an all-star. Waiters gets an easy layup inside, but just continues to have that grinded-out mentality. Kawhi Leonard, the best two-way player in the NBA.
Parker. Here comes Waiters. Spurs get back. Trying to dump it off to Cantor, then able to grab it back. A steal by Leonard, and he is fouled by Collison.
Foul's going to be called for Nick Collison, his second personal.
Right now, the Spurs 39-1 at home. Going back to last season, they had won 49 straight regular season home games prior to that loss to San Antonio this past Sunday night. 2 shots for Leonard. Stay tuned for a special interview segment. American Express teaming up with Kobe Bryant during the American Express halftime report. Kawhi shot only 7 for 22 in that loss to Golden State.
And Marv, Kawhi has been a little out of rhythm, has not played up to the standard, I guess, that he set for himself this season. As of late, has struggled. Be important for him this last game to get back into his rhythm before you go into the postseason.
San Antonio now with an 8, with just under 2 remaining in the half. Waiters. Cantor looks to keep it alive, and he does. Nice play by Enes Kanter.
And that's part of the reason why this is the #1 offensive rebounding team in the league, because of your guards and because of guys like Kanter. But you're going to need extra possessions, especially with the turnover problems OKC has been having late in the fourth quarter.
Here's Leonard for 3. Rebound is stolen by West. Took it out of the hands of Kanter. He's upset with himself. Oklahoma City at 55-26. Remember, they did not make the playoffs last season, an injury-hit season with both Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook set back by injuries. Waiters rejected by Leonard, but Kanter kept it alive. They went 45-37 last year, did not make the playoffs by virtue of losing the tiebreaker to New Orleans.
And last season, a tough year for Oklahoma City. They have rebounded well, but most importantly, their main guys, Durant and Westbrook, are healthy as Aldridge is called for an offensive foul.
So I really can't wait to go ahead, Grant.
No, I was going to say, I mean, and with those 2 guys, Chris, you have a chance. People, they don't want to talk about OKC, but they have a chance to go very far and get to the finals. I know Golden State, it's against everyone to say that, but their track record, their experience in the postseason, and you have 2 great players, anything can happen.
Once again, Cameron Payne showing us a touch. He now has 11.
So many teams have incentive to win. Let's just think about San Antonio, the big letdown. And think about the letdown that the Clippers had last year. See another jumper being knocked down. Think about Cleveland. There's a lot of revenge factors. And even think about Miami, who probably says, hey, we know Cleveland very well. We can get them. But just some exciting times right now as we go into the final stretch to the playoffs. I'm going to gamble for the steal. I'm not going to try to foul. If they call it, they call it. But he's always thinking defense to the last second.
6 seconds remaining in the half. Waiters. Leonard defends. Waiters pops into the corner. Anderson not able to hit the 3, and that is for Dallas.
And that's why coaches harp on the little things, paying attention to detail. It could have been a game in November that cost you this season, even though you really can't look at it like that. But you need to look at it as you're completing the season, saying we can't leave anything to chance. Every game matters.
Portland closes with Denver tomorrow. 8 points now for Steven Adams. If Portland wins, they stay at the number 5 seed. Memphis at the Clippers in the second of our TNT doubleheader. And at Golden State tomorrow, Portland and Dallas have a tiebreaker over Memphis. It really gets convoluted as Danny Green hits his second 3 of the game, and he has had his difficulty shooting the 3 as of late. And Dallas plays at home against the Spurs tomorrow as Collison is able to lay it home. Dallas has the tiebreaker over both Portland and Memphis. So many possibilities in the bottom half of that bracket.
Now, I thought you were going to give us the probability of who was going to be.
That's later.
Okay, all right.
Marvin Grant,
after the game.
Marvin Grant, just think about the opposite ends of the spectrums for fans that thought they were in the playoffs or out of the playoffs before All-Star game. Portland thought they were out of the playoffs before All-Star game. Chicago fans, especially my family members that live in Chicago, thought they were in the playoffs and thought they were going to win, but that's why you have to play all the games. Just so heartbreaking for so many fans with their expectations early on.
2 minutes gone by in the third. Duncan unable to hit on the runner. Here comes Waiters. Waiters and the rookie Cameron Payne in the backcourt. Waiters kicks it out. They swing it. Payne is shot well. Good ball movement by the Thunder. Waiters on a step back. Rebounded by Kawhi Leonard. Parker played by Robertson.
Kawhi's hands are so big, it looks like he palms the ball every time he dribbles it.
Leonard wide open for three. He has been off from three-point range, despite the fact that he is third in that department of the NBA blocking foul charge to Danny Green of the Spurs. Let's go to Lewis Johnson.
Well, Marv, as the Thunder took the court tonight without Durant, Westbrook, Ibaka, Billy Donovan telling us before the game that they still want to play with good ball movement, good decisions, and make the game easier for them. Well, in the last time out, he said, listen, San Antonio's now playing faster than they were before, but they can't play faster and harder than us. So challenging these guys to continue to try and get that chemistry right without Durant, Westbrook, and Ibaka tonight.
All right, Lewis, a beautiful.
Will Smith getting jiggy with it.
Yes, the State Farm audio assist. Thunder head coach Billy Donovan referring to Gene Simmons and his daughter Sophie, who did a terrific job in singing the national anthem prior to tonight's game. Tony Parker with a nice move. Gene Simmons of Kiss fame.
And I don't know if I'm more impressed that he knew that it was Kiss or that it was getting jiggy with it by Will Smith.
Well, I want to go talk to Mr. Simmons and tell him my opinion that I do think NWA should be in the Hall of Fame, but that's another story for later on.
That has been a topic of controversy as of late.
Yes, it has been. All good music belongs, and they affected just as many people.
How about Mo Cheeks not knowing who Gene Simmons is?
He's more of
Herbie Hancock kind of guy.
Al Green.
Well, I can understand that you know both.
That's true.
Right?
Maybe you didn't recognize him without the makeup.
Exactly.
And
That's a good
that's
point.
probably,
Yes.
Robertson on the foul. Leonard will inbound Oklahoma City by 7.
Give Oklahoma City credit. Their defense has been pretty good, as it appears as Collison is called for a foul. With their defense, Chris, making things difficult. Kawhi Leonard not getting to his comfortable spot, trying to front him in the post. And it looks like Leonard got bumped pretty hard on this foul.
Yeah, it looked like that foul actually was on Adams, who kind of pushed away. Collins went up for the block, but
I agree.
Late in the game or late in the season, last 2 games, those type of plays just make you hold your breath, hoping that there's no serious injury. Kawhi jumps back up, looking to knock down the free throw.
And speaking of injuries, Chris, I know back in my Phoenix days, I played against the San Antonio Spurs, the last regular season game of the season, and I got caught up with Manu Ginobili, and he hyperextended his elbow, which cost him in the series. And so I felt horrible because we weren't in the playoffs, and it was an accident. It was an accident out there in the court. But stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Of course, you want to be healthy, like I said at the opening, going into the playoffs.
San Antonio had missed its first 4 free throws. They've hit their last 10, and they're within 5. Payne got the step. Green with the rebound. Here comes Parker. Uses the pick. Good setup, though, for Tony Parker.
That's his shot.
Waiters handling against Leonard. He gets the step. Adams, yes, and the foul.
And I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with Waiters. He's struggled from the floor, 1 for 9, but he's made some good decisions, getting into the paint, drawing the defense, and setting up his big fella. Steven Adams.
And you know, Grant, if he can play like this with Westbrook, and I don't mean to bring back sour feelings for OKC, but this is kind of what Harden's role was late in the game with two All-Stars. And in no way am I saying it's Waiters that, but I'm just saying the dynamic duo of Durant and Westbrook needs another facilitator late in the fourth quarter. And if Waiters understands and accepts his role, he can do that and score at the same time.
Waiters defending on Leonard, who shoots over. Kawhi Leonard with 12 points. And the foul on Leonard, who came out to greet Waiters.
And right here, total mismatch. Leonard, his length, his height, just taking his time. Nice little jab step, create some space. And who said the mid-range game was dead?
Waiters unable to hit that corner jump. This is an Oklahoma City team playing without Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, Green. David West is back. Leonard met by Adams. Here's Leonard blocked. And it's last touched by Oklahoma City.
I'd love to see Oklahoma City play Adams and Cantor together a lot more, especially with the lineup of Kevin Durant and Westbrook in there. I believe that they're going to have to do that late in the playoffs, and you have one guy, a defensive specialist in Adams, and then you have a bucket go-getter in Cantor, and it seems like you could use both of them.
A block by Robertson. Leonard, yes, from downtown with 1 second remaining on the shot clock.
I'll tell you what, good offense always trumps good defense, Chris.
Kawhi Leonard with his first three-pointer. 1 for 3 from beyond the three-point line. A lot of dribbling here by Waiters. Nice feed though. Cantor blocked away by one of the Spurs. Looked to be Green. So the Thunder with just 1.9 remaining on the 24. Adams. Oklahoma City realizing the situation. That does not always happen. And you get the quick release.
And Adams bailed him out. Not a great possession there for the Thunder. You cannot play one-on-one ball against this San Antonio defense.
Duncan on the drive.
We always make the comment about Father Time, and just to be very specific, what does that mean? That means Tim Duncan would have easily dunked that, as you see Waiter get one up, and he just can't get the lift, as you see the great follow back by Roberson. But Grant, it's like you have to duck your shoulder, and Barkley always says, and it's so true, when you start pump faking, it's time for you to go home, eat some popcorn, and watch the game.
So what are you saying, Chris, about Tim Duncan?
Oh, I'm just saying he's one of the greatest ever, and he can't do it like he used to do when he was 20. But who cares?
Grant seizing his opportunity.
But the great thing about the playoffs for Tim Duncan, and really a lot of the guys in the league who are older players, you don't have the back-to-backs. You don't have the excessive travel.
Yes.
So things calm down a little bit, and that'll play to Tim Duncan's advantage. Staying fresh.
Boban Marjanovic has come on, played about 3 minutes in the first half. Shot clock down to 5. West rejected. Second block for Adams. At the other end, it is Cantor laying it in.
How many times have you seen really good defense lead to easy baskets in transition? But the way they're protecting the paint, the Thunder, doing a pretty good job here tonight.
I guarantee you Ibaka is at home by a TV waving his finger really pumped, because he goes against these guys in practice every day. He wants to see their success, especially on the defensive end.
Just under 5 minutes remaining in the third. Waiters finds the opening.
Although he missed that, I like the fact that he's attacking the glass, not settling for jump shots.
Now a deliberate possession here by San Antonio. Nice lead pass for Leonard, and draws the foul off that pump fake.
Great high-low pass in there by West, but this is what we're talking about. Help defense, help your man, and doing his best Ibaka impersonation, throwing it, and what happens? Get a block on one end, big fellas run on the other end. They have to reward you. Great defense by OKC.
Foul number 4 committed by Steven Adams. So 2 free throws for Leonard. The NBA on TNT brought to you by Doom. Fight like hell on May 13th. Rated M for mature. And by PapaJohns.com. 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas, only $6.99 each. Kawhi Leonard is one of the better free throw shooters in the league. 5 for 8 at the line here tonight.
And I've been very impressed with the activity of the Thunder bigs as they rotate Collison, Cantor, and of course Adams. High energy bigs, what a luxury.
Traveling. Called on Cantor.
Great foul by West after the play. Was looking to see if Cantor would do anything. Didn't even make eye contact. Little things like that are what veterans add. It goes a long way.
Yeah, Reb, I used to do that back in the day. I remember you tapped me a couple times.
Whatever we could do to stop you, G, it was hard, man.
Here's Patty Mills for 3. Patty Mills, 7-year man from St. Mary's of California. He's made it back from last season's shoulder injury. He's been a spark off the bench. And a travel is called. Once again on the Thunder.
You have a guy 7'3" looking over you. It makes it real easy to travel. You can't see around him. Payne a little bit indecisive on that last play.
Kevin Martin makes his return. And the call away from the ball against San Antonio off that pileup on the left side of the lane.
And it's interesting, on that play, Cameron Payne bodied up Patty Mills, and Patty Mills responded and got called for the foul, for a little bump. And as you know, when you retaliate, a lot of times that's what the officials see. And in that case, the rookie made the vet get called for a foul.
First committed by Mills. Payne with the step. Oh, what a move.
And he had to keep that in his left hand, Marv, because if he would have brought it to kind of gather it, it would have gave the big fella, Marjanovic, a chance to block the shot. The sneaky scoop by Payne.
Foul's called on Payne. Payne with 15 points, making his first NBA start here tonight.
Yes, indeed. And that change of pace, just freezing the defender there. And not even putting the ball in his right hand, as you said, Chris, just being able to elude the defender there, and nice, easy basket. And Payne, this opportunity, making the most of it here, not have these type of minutes on a big stage. Cameron Payne stepping up.
And, you know, he had a very good stretch back in early January. He had missed Summer League due to a broken finger. Making a big jump from the Ohio Valley Conference, played at Murray State, played 2 years at Murray State, and was selected as a first-round draft pick by Oklahoma City. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. And pass off, intended for Foy. Anderson for the Spurs, handles. He's a good passer, finds West. Wide open. Kept alive by Marjanovic. The feed for West, but could not put it down.
Did you see the no look by the 7'3" player? Come on, West, you got to put that down for the big fella.
Cantor lost it. Mills chased by Foy. Mills all the way and draws the foul.
Get excited.
And Webb, this right here, the big fella.
No look.
Marjanovic, the no look. Reminds me of Murison, back to you with the no-look pass back in 1996.
I am biased when it comes to watching big men play, and the big fella right there gets the tough offensive rebound and does his best Magic Johnson impersonation. You got to love it. You got to love it.
Once again, Patty Mills at the line. Marjanovic, a 27-year-old rookie. He had been playing in the Serbian Professional League. He was a 3-time All-Star and a 3-time Most Valuable Player. Grew up in Serbia. His favorite player, Chris, you'll appreciate this, was Vlade Divac, also from Serbia.
Surprise, surprise, yeah.
Former teammate of yours with Sacramento.
Another great passer, too. He's been going into Vlade's old book of tricks, getting some passes out.
Payne over Marjanovic. Collison kept it
Extending the possession for the Thunder.
San Antonio within 3. Anderson. And Collison comes away with the rebound. That is his 8th rebound. And Collison starting the game here tonight. Collison kind of keeps things organized on the court. Here's Collison on the drive. Marjanovic rebound.
One of the best defenders when you talk about playing position defense, getting charges, boxing out, guarding his man.
West open. Last touch by the Thunder. West is now 3 of 10 from the field.
And West has had good looks. That's his shot right there at the free throw line, elbow, not knocking it down. Just a little frustrated knowing that he can make that shot and has done so throughout his career.
Martin has to hold on his dribble. Martin played by Foy. Looking inside and then fires. West with the rebound. And he is fouled by Cantor. 2 shots for David West. A look at the upcoming NBA national TV schedule tomorrow night on ESPN. What a doubleheader. The Heat playing at the Celtics starting 8 o'clock Eastern time, which could be for the number 4 slot in the East. Could be for home court advantage. That'll be followed by the Grizzlies and the Warriors. Miami with a 7-point lead, about 5.5 minutes left at Detroit. Playing tonight, Grizzlies and Warriors at around 10:30 Eastern time. Golden State going for number 73. And tomorrow night, ESPN2 will have the Jazz playing the Lakers in LA. Kobe Bryant's finale. Cantor with 15 points.
And Chris, I'm just so impressed with his ability to score the basketball a number of different ways. I knew he could do it in the paint, but he showed me tonight he can do it from downtown.
Yeah, he can definitely get buckets. They just want him to be more effective on that defensive end. And talking about effective, that's how you get a bucket in the paint. Anderson going strong, probably got fouled.
And that began with a gorgeous crossover by Kyle Anderson, second-year man from UCLA. Cantor lost it. West with the strip. Oklahoma City now with a 1-point lead. 3-second differential between the game clock and shot clock as this third quarter comes to a close. Mills on the drive. He set it up for Marjanovic. It counts as a foul.
And Chris, this is San Antonio basketball. Mills could have taken the shot, but dropping it up, dropping it off high for the big fella. The only problem, I wish Marjanovic dunked it. He's 7'3".
Yeah, he's not DeAndre Jordan. He's not going to touch his foot with it and give us a 360 in the air, but it doesn't matter because he's just as effective getting to the free throw line and a pretty good free throw shooter.
And excuse me, one of the folks sitting next to us said he's 7'5". I apologize.
Sorry we missed the inch or two.
As you saw, first time that San Antonio has led since back late first quarter. Spurs with a foul to give. 3.9 remaining in the third.
I'd like to see the ball go to Cantor right here. A little quick hitter, get him the ball.
Well, knocked away by Martin, who has to fire with time running out. a 50.
The other day, I mean, gee, he was worried. He actually jumped back in and gave information as to what was happening and said, Coach, you feel okay today?
I think Coach probably sensed the overconfidence of Lewis Johnson. Had to put him in his place.
Opening minute, fourth quarter. Here it is, West on the drive. Gathered in by Cantor. San Antonio up by 2. Oklahoma City has led most of the way. Randy Foye hit on a reach-in by West.
Guys, we had 9 turnovers at the half. We had 7 that quarter. That's the difference. We got to stop turning the ball over. We got to play the quarter clean on offense.
Well, San Antonio has certainly taken over. That's tipped home. Boban Marjanovic with the bucket to tie the game at 76. But Miami has come from way back. They were down by as many as 18 back in the first half. I should say San Antonio has come way back. We're looking at the Miami-Boston-Charlotte situation. Miami has defeated Detroit 99-93. So they now are 48-30. Atlanta 48-33. Boston is 47-34. Atlanta has the tiebreaker over Boston. Miami has a tiebreaker over Atlanta. Miami and Boston have tiebreakers over Charlotte. Ernie Johnson will have the complete story later.
I was going to say, so we won't know anything until the first game starts.
There is Adams on the water, just beating the shot clock.
I'll tell you what, as San Antonio is making this run, give credit to Oklahoma City. They're hanging around. Obviously, they have the lead right now, continuing to fight here in the fourth quarter.
Marjanovic with the stuff. He goes 7'3". I know someone said 7'5", but the Spurs claim 7'3". Usually teams will add an inch or 2. So I do believe if they're saying 7'3", it's accurate.
And you know, Marv, I got a chance to play with the guy, 7'7". His name is George Mirasan, and the great part about it is that he was the best outlet. You could do all the wrong things and still be successful. You could make a jump pass. You could not know where you were going with the ball and just throw it up there, and you knew he was going to be a safety outlet. As you see Tim Duncan, he's always the outlet for this team. He's getting to the line.
Check out on the floor.
You talk about the high-low and the height of Marjanovic. Tim Duncan, great passer, great position down low, keeping the ball up high and finishing at the rim.
He used to do that a lot to David Robinson, even though the finishes may look a little bit different, but that's where he started those high-low passes in, and that's where he started finishing from those great passes from the Admiral.
And I remember the chemistry back in the day with you and Mirasan and just trying to defend both of you with the height and size of Mirasan and the great touch. Didn't maybe have the mobility of a Marjanovic, but certainly was a great player down in the low block for those old Bullets teams.
Well, I know Shaq is in the studio. I wonder, does he remember the whooping that Mirasan put on him that one time? He'd like to get the big fella riled up.
And we have footage.
I'm not sure Shaq is watching, though.
Exactly.
Duncan at the line for the first time tonight, so hits 1 of 2, and the Spurs up by a point.
I love you, big fella.
The ball is back to San Antonio. They now have Marjanovic, Duncan, and Leonard on the front line with Parker and Anderson at the guards. Parker comes off the pick. Leonard to Parker. Shot clock down to 7. Parker with a teardrop. Duncan gets to it and scores. You know, he may not be able to do what he used to do, but he's been very sharp here tonight.
They can continue OKC playing that way, but with 17 turnovers, it's kind of been their Achilles heel late in the second half. Grant, it's important for them to keep their possessions because, as you know, a bad shot is almost as bad defense because it puts you in a terrible position to try to get a stop.
Chris, ball movement, good decision-making down the stretch here for Oklahoma City to have a chance to get a win.
Morrow gets it back out. Here's Foy with a deep three. Cantor chases down. They have a new shot clock. Waiters from the angle for three.
And that right there is all made by Cantor. His hustle, his heart. 13 offensive rebounds have led to 19 second chance points. You got to love the fight of these Thunderball clubs.
Game is tied at 81. Duncan played by Cantor. Goes right at him. Waiters accelerates and throws it too high for Morrow.
The right idea for Waiters on that last play, but the turnover, he was calling for this when he got past half court, and after the shot, he just stood there and watched it go in, and you knew he was feeling it on that one.
Marjanovic. Adams playing with 4 fouls. Knocked to the backcourt by Foy. We're down to 5 on the 24. Leonard for 3.
Tony Parker put Leonard kind of in a tough position there to try to knock down the shot at the last second.
Waiters on the drive, high off glass, keeping the ball away from the 7'3" Marjanovic. So 11 points for Waiters.
And I love he just hit a three-pointer, but he's continuing to attack the basket, turn the ball over in the last play. But a beautiful finish by Waiters.
Cantor stepping into the lane to intercept.
Nazr Muhammad on the bench hasn't probably played a minute this season. Got that steal right there for his team. He jumped up, recognized the play, got Adams in the passing lane. Great job from your teammates on the side of the bench.
Nice pass from Foy, but the block by Marjanovic. Cantor thought he was fouled. Parker met by Morrow. Marjanovic turns. Deflected out, last touch by Adams of the Thunder.
And Chris, you talked about Nazr Muhammad as Waiters gets to the basket and finishes with his offhand. It's amazing how high off the glass he had to get that ball, so Marjanovic couldn't block it. We're talking about the value of veterans. And you saw that from Muhammad on that play. As Marjanovic gets another dunk for the San Antonio Spurs, and clearly a number of veterans here on this Spurs ball club. Very critical if you're trying to be a playoff championship basketball team.
Marjanovic 4 of 5 from the field, 9 points, 3 rebounds. Shot clock to 5. Cantor blocked by Marjanovic. His second rejection. Parker putting a move on, splits through, kicks it out. Green for 3. Rebounded by Duncan. They have a new possession. Parker had it batted but recovers. Duncan sets the pick.
And I loved his patience. Tony Parker waiting for the contact, having the presence of mind to absorb that contact and still get the ball off the glass. Tony Parker going for a three-point play.
He's a 77% free throw shooter. $15 points for Parker, and the Spurs up by 3. Just under 5 remaining in the fourth. Waiters, Morrow for 3. Fouled by Green. That'll be 3 free throws for Anthony Morrow.
Yeah, it looks like Anthony Morrow kicks it. I'm still bitter about that. That happened to me a few times.
I've noticed that, yes. 3 shots for Morrow. The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Auto Trader. Life happens, one car search at a time. The next generation Kia Optima, official vehicle of the NBA. By Verizon, join a better network because better matters. And by Heineken, open your world. Chris, I can't tell you, any time I've worked with Grant over the last couple of years, Reggie's name comes up in the same instance. So I can't. How many times did this occur in your career?
I'll tell you, full disclosure, I get taken for Reggie
I was just
Miller
about to
all
say.
the time. And I'm a little salty about that.
Are you just people think you're Reggie? Is it the ears? Is it the shoulders?
Last and letting their bigs go get it. Cantor making a living down there, giving extra possessions, and now on the free throw line, shooting for 2.
Thunder 18 for 18 at the line. On season, they shoot 78%, which is 10th in the league.
And San Antonio has had to change the way they're playing. LaMarcus Aldridge out on the floor.
About not received an official report.
Sees himself as a Renaissance man.
Oh, man. Karaoke sensation.
We just received a report from Lewis Johnson regarding LaMarcus Aldridge. That left pinky finger, which he injured last week, is sore, so the Spurs felt there's no reason for him to play in the second half and will not play tomorrow night in Dallas. He'll be rested for the playoffs.
You know, Grant, as I look at your hands, both of your pinkies are crooked. You dislocated both multiple times. How long? What's the longest you've been out from an injury like that?
You know, maybe about a week or so. Those things can be aggravating, and one of those things that I think LaMarcus will have to deal with the rest of the season.
Have you ever been told that on both hands you have crooked fingers? Robertson on the drive. I mean, aside from family members.
Yeah,
Now I see, yes, you are correct.
Shaking Grant's hand is like holding an octopus. His fingers go every which way.
Hey, I used to reach a lot on defense. I can't help it.
Foul is on Danny Green. Andre Robertson to the line for the first time tonight. Does not get to the line much. Just a 66% free throw shooter. 33 for 50. Spurs up by 4 with 2:24 remaining in the fourth. Thunder had gone 20 for 20 prior to the miss. Kept alive. Waiters for 3. And Adams is on it. Another possession for Oklahoma City.
And if Oklahoma City can win this game, it's going to be because of their offensive rebounding as Tony Parker gets a steal for the Spurs.
And for the second straight season, they are leading the NBA in overall rebounding, and as you mentioned, lead in offensive rebounding. Just under 2 remaining in the fourth. Here's Duncan to the bucket, and he draws the foul. Steven Adams upset. That's number 5.
You know, Marv, you talked about all the areas that the San Antonio Spurs is leading, and one of those areas is defensive efficiency. And in talking to Popovich before the game, he said, congratulations, Pop, your team finished number 1 in defensive efficiency. He said, well, if the people that make these stats up and all these smart people tell me what that means, what is the actual recipe for defensive efficiency, then maybe I'll be happy when you have that. He said, we're just doing the same thing we've been doing for 15 years, staying in front of our man, front of him on the ball baseline. That's our defensive efficiency.
Duncan is now 1 of 3 at the line. You get the idea that he is not a proponent of, quote, analytics.
Not at all.
And actually, the naked eye tells you what you want to hear. I mean, I can see certain aspects of it which can be helpful.
And that's what he says. He likes to look at it maybe for, a couple of things to tell you this and that, but never to really tell you how good you're playing.
There's Waiters on the stuff. Off the back tap. Dion Waiters to the rim. It's a 3-point game, just under a minute and a half remaining in the fourth.
Wow. You got to defend here, Oklahoma City. Kawhi Leonard, he closes games out for the Spurs, one-on-one against Waiters.
Leonard, rebounded by Robertson, and a timeout called by Oklahoma City. You know, for a play-out the schedule game, this not bad.
Not bad at all when you're Mr. Waiters continuing to attack the rim and dunking on Tim Duncan. We got a game here. Spurs up 3.
Talk here, talk. Everybody talk. Now look, it's still all about rebounding. The whole game is still about rebounding. You guys turn your face to face right here. You guys go get the board.
The Thunder have out-rebounded the Spurs, particularly on the offensive glass. 17 offensive rebounding. However, Oklahoma City hurt by turnovers. They've committed 26 by the rookie Cameron Payne. Ball was deflected out. 14 seconds remaining on the shot clock. 1:02 left in the fourth. Cantor on the inbounds. Here's Waiters for 3. Both Duncan and Leonard on it. Leonard controls. Spurs up by 3. Trying to make it a record of 40-1 regular for the most in NBA history in terms of a 40-1 home record. Leonard for 3.
And not a great possession there, Chris, for the Spurs.
Payne on the drive, a wild shot. Kept alive by Payne. Shot clock still alive. Waiters. He gets the call on the continuation. And he'll go to the line.
And this is when you're usually waiting for Westbrook or Durant to do their thing, but he gets a little bit of extra love on that step from the referee.
I agree. Continuing to attack the basket. Nice crossover. Using a great job with that left hand, finishing in traffic.
Whoa.
This is the Waiters, and I think he was giving a little love on that play, but this is the Waiters I want to see when Westbrook and Durant get back. You don't have to just catch it to shoot. Yeah, your numbers aren't great, 5 for 19, but he's been a facilitator and attacking aggressively all night.
Well, they got to put him in these situations to
at Oklahoma City. 13 ties, 7 lead changes. Oklahoma City led by as many as 18 back in the first half, and now San Antonio can set up for a final shot to win the game.
And if you're OKC, watch out for the pick and roll high with Tony Parker. Look out for Kawhi on that post.
They inbound in front court. Duncan will throw in. Played by Cantor. Both teams over the foul limit. We're down to 5 seconds. Leonard played by Robertson. Down to 2. Leonard fires the tip. We're going to overtime. For San Antonio.
Teams have come out here and fought hard. Oklahoma City, San Antonio playing their starters significant minutes. Great effort by both clubs as you see their overtime records this season.
Spurs control. And they are staying with Duncan. Marjanovic. Leonard up front. Parker and Green in the backcourt. Parker. Waiters with the rebound. Good box out by Adams on Marjanovic.
You're exactly right. They're banging us down low underneath the paint, and because you don't have a size advantage, you need 2 to get to Marjanovic.
Cantor not able to hit. Marjanovic went down in a collision with Adams. Adams playing with 5 fouls. Here's Leonard with the jumper. Yes. Kawhi Leonard with 22 points. Waiters. He is fouled.
We know Adams loves to play rugby in his spare time, and I'm not familiar with rugby, but I think that happens a lot. You knock people down a lot, and Adams loves to get physical and bang inside, and Marjanovic takes it, gets up, and gets down to the other end.
Most of the players, and there are several in the NBA who are from New Zealand and Australia, have played a lot of rugby, and it leads to physical play. As we've seen, Steven Adams Matthew Dellavedova.
And seeing Adams up close with his shoulders and his size, it doesn't do justice on TV. And so strong and physical inside. And that's part of the game he loves, messing it up inside.
Good player. 15 points tonight, 9 rebounds. That last foul on Marjanovic, a 1-point lead for the Spurs. With a minute gone by in this 5-minute overtime session. Marv Albert, Chris Webber, Grant Hill, Lewis Johnson from the AT&T Center in San Antonio. Duncan with the step. Ball knocked away. Cameron Payne, the rookie, making his first NBA start handling. Waiters now, watched by Green.
And OKC, they got to get into the screen and roll. Ideally with Marjanovic, man, attacking the glass off the screen and roll.
Payne off glass. Beautiful move. And that is a career high for Cameron Payne. 17 points. The one problem, turnovers, committing 6. Green played by Payne. Shot clock down to 5. Leonard, yes, able to free himself up and drill it.
Great shot by Leonard, but give Waiters credit, fighting him on defense as Danny Green gets called for a silly defensive foul in the backcourt. Is in disbelief and now heads to the bench. But I'll tell you what, this young man, Cameron Payne, likes to use his left hand off the glass. And then Kawhi Leonard gets up so high, great elevation, extension on his jump shot, can't block it. Both teams showing a lot of fight.
There is Waiters. A foul was number 5 on Green, so Anderson has come on. And the ball ends up deflecting out of bounds. Crowd wanted a foul on the Thunder.
You see Danny Green right here kind of getting into it, and a little bit of a physical play. That's the play, the foul that was called on the earlier play.
Is Danny Green from Australia?
1-point San Antonio lead. 2.5 remaining in overtime. And a foul on Payne.
And that was just a rookie mistake. Got to stay down on the ground. Don't go for the ball fakes. Tony Parker recognizing Payne doing a good job. Nice selling of the ball fakes. Getting Payne in the air and get into the free throw line.
Parker, 1 for 1 at the line. That's point number 18. It's been a long run for Marjanovic. He's played 20 minutes. He's 4 for 5, 9 points, 7 rebounds.
Exactly. And we've seen him play well this season against a few big fellas, actually against Miami, namely. And you know how that big fella down there does.
To the basket. That's going to be the key for the Spurs down the stretch.
Waiters was trying to draw the foul on Leonard. Shot clock at 5. Payne for 3. Rebounded by Anderson of the Spurs.
Tough shot right there by Payne. He did notice that the shot clock was getting a little bit low, so good job to get it up on the glass, but want to see a little bit better execution by OKC on that last play.
West comes out to set the screen, and a steal by Robertson. This time Payne pulls it back. Waiters has had the hot hand. Waiters on the drive. And right at Marjanovic. Just under a minute and a half remaining in overtime. Parker spinning. Robertson with the rebound.
That's Parker's one of his favorite moves. I mean, he has one of the best jump hooks this game has seen, and that's bar none in size. Just couldn't get that to go down.
Here's Payne. Nice feed, and Adams has tied the game.
See that sneak layup? That's what you call it. Get on the tippy toes and get it up before Marjanovic swats it to one of his players.
I love the composure, Chris, of Payne. The right read, right decision on that last possession.
Under a minute left in overtime. Leonard, he's been hitting the jumper. Kawhi Leonard has come on in the second half. He has 26 points in all. There's Payne. He's hit that move before. This time he was hacked, and he'll go to the line.
That was a great call. West actually pushed Adams in the back. It wasn't on the shot, and that's what happens when you set a pick and roll. Grant, you mentioned get Marjanovic in the pick and roll. What does that do? He has to come over. So what happens? Now you have Adams coming down the paint, and right here, look at the little push in the back, and that was the call.
That was the right call.
And yes. The same non-shooting foul before the shot. Half minute left, overtime.
They should go back to the exact same play, the play that just worked.
What's the switch? Anderson on Waiters.
Waiters with the jumper. Rebounded by Marjanovic.
But that's when Westbrook comes to play. You just had a successful play by putting the big fella at the top of the pick and roll. The reason why you do that is so you get room and space. You don't have Westbrook going down the lane, Duncan or Durant. That time they should have called the pick and roll. You got a one-on-one move of hero ball, and that's what happens if you're not one of the top 20 players in the league.
They had a foul to give. 13.8 remaining. They have to foul here with San Antonio up by 2. Duncan is back to throw in the backcourt.
Right now you try to get a steal in the backcourt. Don't foul necessarily right up.
The foul, well, foul is given, and Parker will go to the line with Oklahoma City up.
I was going to say you want to try to get a steal, not necessarily foul right away, but to your point, Chris, it was working all night, getting the high screen and roll, attacking the glass, making decisions, and on that last play, Oklahoma City went away from that.
Parker missed his last free throw, now 3 of 4 at the line. So with Oklahoma City over the foul limit, we're down to 12.3 remaining in this overtime, and the Spurs by 4. 86 season. I should say Oklahoma City with the ball. Or had the ball. Now a San Antonio ball off the turnover.
OKC, Grant, just not used to being in that position. Give a lot of credit for playing so tough tonight, but you got Raiders, you got Payne in positions in life that usually you would have one of the best point guards in this game in Westbrook handling the ball.
End of game execution, that's what it's all about. 2 bad possessions by OKC.
Trying to give the foul, but cannot. They kept it away, and they'll just run it down. Kawhi Leonard, the hero of overtime, 6 points on 3 for 3 from the field, and the Spurs win it 102-98. They make it to 40-1 here at home, equaling the NBA record of the Celtics back in 85 and 86. Oklahoma City now 56 and 26. Both teams still don't know who they will be playing in the opening round of the playoffs. We'll know more after tomorrow's action. Thanks to our producer, Scott Cockerell, director Andy Goldberg, and our statistician, Brian Taylor, Marv Albert, Grant Hill, Chris Webber saying good night.